Good afternoon, this is Alex Hamilton, and this is Straight from the Approach, a bowling conversation.
Good afternoon, evening,
Hello
morning,
there.
Mark.
What have you got for me today?
Controversial topic today, actually.
Another one.
Another one. So, I want to talk to you today because I hear it all the time about, oh, you're two-handed, you're putting loads of revs on it, you're destroying the lane, I hear it all the time, and I just think it's a load of baloney, to be honest with you.
It's nonsense. It's utter nonsense.
But we want to talk about two-handers in the sport of bowling because, Belmo was probably the first and the architect of the two-handed ways in bowling. And we've got a lot of two-handed bowlers who bowl here. We've got the Rorys, the Mikes, a lot of our league bowlers,
It's the way that people learn it as well now at the moment. I think they see they see Belmo or Kyle Troop, all the hundreds of others. And it's the way that they learn because they think, and when you can't necessarily hook a ball as much when you first start, with a house shot or a house ball or anything like that, you look at it and you think, hang on a minute, I can, similar to what you did or what Rory did, and you put your hand in the ball without a thumb and you can spin it as much as you want.
Yeah.
And then with a house ball, it'll move a little bit or it'll hook a little bit and then it'll hook a little bit more and you think, well, I can't do that with a thumb in the ball.
Nope.
Because if you have not bowled before or you've bowled once or twice or you bowled recreationally with friends or family, you don't know how to do it. And so without a thumb in it, it's easy because you can just spin. But with a thumb in it, you can't do that. And so I think at the base level of bowling and the grassroots, children are seeing that and they think, well, I can do that. And it's much more mesmerising to see the ball go like that on a lane than it is just to see it go straight or, go off to one side because you're not, because you're young or because you're inexperienced in the sport. So I think it's people seeing that and thinking, yeah, I want to do that, and then trying to replicate it.
Yeah, we got little Timmy, 7-year-old Timmy, who comes into bowl a bowling game, and we're trying to teach him. I, at 27 years old, still struggle to get my hand with a thumb under the ball at release point. I still struggle with that. So let alone little Timmy being able to do that.
Exactly.
Whilst that two-handed stance is much easier for that base level rotation off the ball, and that's something that Timmy will definitely find a lot easier. So I find two-handed bowling and palm bowling, which is how I bowl, is a very good way to get into the sport. I think if you're a one-hander with a thumb, I think that's something that needs to be ingrained into you at
that's the thing.
start.
You've got to, it's if you're gonna go, I mean, what you would deem recreational bowling now, with your two fingers and your thumb, you have to start with that because if you go a different way, like I've tried it with you, months and months of trying and to get your thumb in the ball, and you've got a good release when you do it, but you just can't fathom and figure it out because you've had that, your natural instinct was to palm, and people have even had to try you go two-handed, and it just doesn't work for you. You just look like Bambi on ice on the approach.
I do.
You can't do it, and I can't do it. I cannot,
My
for the
belly gets
life
in
of
the
me,
way.
throw a two-handed ball. If I worked at it for months, maybe I might get one day, but I just cannot figure it out. But then I've been bowling with a thumb in the ball for 25 years. So it's not going to come naturally. Whereas if you start off with it, it's what it's natural. But I'm going to call it nonsense. But all this nonsense that people are coming out with, oh, it's cheating, oh, it's ruining the game, oh, it's doing this, it's doing that. No, absolutely not. Because, any good bowler worth their salt can put similar amount of revs on it if they need to, by slowing it down, by by proper cocking their wrist, or just adjust to what what's in front of you.
From what I know, if you've got a rev dominant player playing quite outside, maybe bring it inside, maybe play inside of them, maybe give yourself that extra bit of room on the lane.
Exactly, and you play to it, play to the strength, or play to what they're giving you as well, because they might be helping you. But if you're going into it with a mindset of, oh, well, this is ridiculous, they're cheating, or they'll do it, it's not going to work for you. You're at a disadvantage straight away because you think they're doing something that shouldn't be allowed. But
in my opinion, bowling isn't the biggest sport on the planet. So anyone who's bowling is good, in my eyes. And we need to try and increase the sport, not by slating the people who are playing currently.
No, just encourage anybody to bowl.
Yeah, doesn't matter if you bowl with 5 fingers in the ball. I think some of us may have seen recently there is a 5... There's a whole, thumb and forefinger ball that you can use and bowl it off the whole hand. It's all about bowling. We're trying to encourage people to bowl in general. So it's not about whether you are, bowling two-handed, whether you're cheating, whether you're using a purple hammer. It's more about getting people bowling in the first place. But on a side note, Mark, say you were in a tournament and you made, the match play and you were bowling against a two-hander, say for the house championships, and you're off against Rory in the house championships, okay? Would you make any adjustments knowing that he's a bit of a rev dominant two-hander, or
Not
would
straight
you take
off.
any
No,
lessons?
not straight away, because it could be that the pattern allows you to bowl as you want to, as you need to. Depends what they're going to throw. It depends if they're throwing urethane. It depends if they're throwing reactive. Depends on the volume of oil on the lane. I wouldn't make any adjustment straight away. I would just go straight into the match thinking my game. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to change the way I'm bowling. I wouldn't want to change my form, my style, unless I absolutely need to, and that would be then determined by the breakdown, or not necessarily even how they're bowling, how I'm bowling, and that's how I would go and approach something like that. I wouldn't change my game because of what someone else is doing.
Fantastic. So what we've taken from this video is two-handed, it's not cheating, and we love bowling.
Bring it on. Yeah, the more people that are doing it means the more people are bowling, so it can only be a good thing.
Winner, chicken dinner. All right, well, let us know genuinely if you disagree with us, or if you think two-handed should be banned. Let us know in the comments. Right, we're all about creating conversations.
Yeah, see what you think. Let us know. Why do you have that opinion? What generates that for you? Why do you think they should or shouldn't be allowed? But again, I just think more people doing it means more people are bowling. So exactly. Bring it on.
Do you remember our handle? Straight from the approach. A bowling conversation. Tune in, subscribe.